So, Family Guy just dropped its most recent episode, and it happened to be a Christmas special. Now, considering we haven't done anything Christmas related for the channel, and it's almost that time of year, I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to get something Christmas related up. Unfortunately, despite this episode being in a Christmas time setting and having Christmas in the title, this episode really doesn't have anything to do with Christmas. Instead, it focuses on the Griffins meeting Kevin James. Kevin James is someone we have seen before in multiple cutaways, but this is the first episode that focuses around him, which we'll get to later. But first, guys, if you like videos like these and want to see me review some of the newer episodes of Family Guy, please consider giving this video a like, and also consider subscribing so you can keep up to date with my videos as they release. Now, with all that out of the way, let's get into the episode. The episode starts off with Peter getting angry at Lois for selling the family TV to buy Christmas gifts. So the family tries to reason with Peter, saying that they don't need a TV in the modern era of streaming, but I disagree because now they don't have a device where they can all watch something as a family together, so I would be mad too. Eventually, after some banter between Peter and Lois, we cut to Peter hanging out with Joe, Quagmire, and Cleveland at the Drunken Clam, where they try to convince Peter as well that he doesn't need a TV in the golden age of streaming, but Peter is unwavering in his opinion. During this back and forth between Peter and his friends, Peter goes on a rant about how he wants more young Sheldon, which has been an ongoing joke for Peter's character as of late. Now, personally, I have never seen Young Sheldon, and I've only seen the first episode of The Big Bang Theory, but Peter describes it as a dumb guy's interpretation of a smart guy, so I want you guys to let me know if that's accurate or not. As the arguing continues, Peter ends up saying that he likes the simple wholesomeness of network TV, but Quagmire points out something that is completely true.
Peter, the point of TV isn't joy anymore. It's to destroy you emotionally. Who the hell wants to watch something happy when you can watch Koreans fight to the death?
When you think about it, the shows that really catch people's attention are usually the most violent ones, like The Boys, Invincible, Game of Thrones, or Squid Games. All these shows get you attached to the characters within them, only to take them away and make you feel enticed to keep watching. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but what I am saying, at least in terms of viewership, it's hard for something like Law and Order to compete with the Battle of the Bastards. Even after all this convincing though, Peter stands his ground, and Lois returns to the house to find Peter has sold the family fridge. Lois tells Peter again to give streaming a shot, and we get a cutaway of Lois choking on a piece of shrimp. Now, admittedly, when I first saw this episode, I was watching it with my friends, and they were all only half paying attention, but as soon as the scene happened where everybody rushed at Lois, we were all laughing and we had to rewind because this scene just really threw us completely by surprise. Sometimes that's the best thing about Family Guy, is it can really just throw your brain off when you least expect it. Peter gives in and finally decides to start watching streaming shows on his tablet, and while he is struggling to log into Netflix, Peter asks Brian what the Netflix password is. And then we find out that he's logged into Quagmire's account. Interesting enough, even though it isn't stated, if I had to guess, Brian probably got Quagmire's login to his Netflix in season 21, episode 7, titled The Stewaway, after Quagmire and Brian found Stewie in Paris and they flew back home. If I had to guess, Brian probably borrowed Quagmire's login on their flight back, and he made sure to not log out because he said he doesn't know the password, and let's just be honest, it's a total Brian thing to do. Back to Peter playing on his tablet, he gets a knock at the door and it's Kevin James. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I found this scene and the way how it was shot really cliche, because we have seen this plot setup replicated so many times by YouTubers inserting themselves into a Family Guy episode.
Kevin James?
Hi, Peter. You were my last viewer. And now that you've gotten rid of network TV, I'm out of a job.
First name Jaden, last name Animations.
Hello, Peter.
This just really shows me how predictable Family Guy writing can be at times between all the cutaways and silly humor. Back to the episode, Peter ends up inviting Kevin James into their home, where he tells the Griffins that he is failing as an actor and he wants them to take care of him, which Peter agrees to do after naming 100 shows where the plot is someone new showing up at their doorstep. This joke is another one of Family Guy's infamous time wasters, and it gets repetitive as the joke goes on for over a minute. The scene ends with a fake out though of Lois sending herself to the Shadow Realm, but Peter points out that it's not real and it's just a dark joke they do around the house. Now, this is my own speculation, but this might actually shed light on the really dark ending from season 12 episode 10 when Peter walks in on Meg hanging, as this gives us context as to why Peter wasn't concerned in that ending scene. But then again, it's been 10 years since that episode aired, so I'm not sure if the writers had this idea in mind, but I thought it was something worth pointing out. After the time waster joke, Peter has Kevin James join the Griffins for dinner, and the dinner isn't going smoothly to say the least. But Lois asks Kevin James why he can't find any work, and he explains that everyone knew him from network TV, but since everyone has moved on to streaming, no one knows who he is. Peter ends up convincing Lois to let Kevin James stay for a bit, and after some jokes where Peter attempts to show Kevin James how to live as a normal guy, Kevin James lands a job as a UPS driver. However, for whatever reason, Kevin James starts to turn transparent as he is fading away from irrelevance, so the Griffins try to help Kevin James find ways to become relevant again. As time continues, Kevin James gets more worried as he continues to fade away, but Peter quickly gets the idea to cast Kevin James in a play, but the plan quickly backfires as Kevin is booed while on stage. Peter tries to do damage control by giving a speech about why network TV is good, only for Kevin James to lose both his legs and hurt himself more, which causes the situation to turn around as the crowd is now engaged and laughing. Peter and Kevin James bring the town together through laughter, as Kevin regains his limbs that had previously faded away, as more network TV stars make cameos before Kevin James is hired on a new sitcom, which causes him to float and teleport to Hollywood. And yeah, that's pretty much the episode. To be honest, I didn't find this episode all that funny, besides the one moment of pure shock humor when Lois was choking on the shrimp. Everything about this episode, from the moment Kevin James walks through the door, is just pretty random. And honestly, there isn't really much build up as to why he is going to the Griffin's house in the first place. Like, yeah, the episode was about network TV dying, but Kevin James was just kind of thrown into the plot. Then it also just felt like they didn't know what to do with him. Honestly, most of the time throughout the episode, the family is just talking around Kevin James, with him not really saying much, only for the show to turn into crunch time at the end, with the episode having to be 22 minutes, hence why it only takes one scene to really make Kevin James relevant again, and it doesn't even give us a proper goodbye. He just explodes and ditches everyone. Overall, I would say this is one of the weakest episodes from the season, but I want to know what you guys think. Did this episode meet your expectations, or did you find yourself snoozing your way through it? Of course, let me know in the comments below. Finally, as I said earlier, if you guys enjoy videos like these, please consider giving the video a like and consider subscribing so you can keep up with my videos as they release. Alrighty, you guys take care, have a good one.